Alright, so we're live dito po sa ating show which is Usapang Musiko. So for our 8th episode, we have two special guests, no? Very prominent musicians from the Philippines. So, na-excite na ba kayo? Before yan, I'd like to thank everyone na nagsusupport sa channel ko. So we're at 410 subscribers now, no? Yeah, salamat po. And a lot more content will be coming your way for the next weeks to follow. Okay. So, pakilala na natin. Ayun, dami ng viewers agad ah. So we're at 11, 12. Yeah. So, for our guests, hindi ko na hahabaan yung intro, no? Si Sir Gerard Salonga and si Ma'am DJ Salonga. Ayan. Hi, sir. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Ryan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon po. Medyo kinabahan ako. Okay. So, before we start na, pakilala po natin muna yung ating mga sarili. If you might start po, Sir Gerard.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I am Gerard Salonga, and I currently am the music director of the ABS-CBN Philharmonic Orchestra, and I'm also the resident conductor of the Malaysian Philharmonic Orchestra. I'm speaking to you live from Kuala Lumpur, where I am stuck. but very thankful naman to be safe, and generally Malaysia has really handled this whole situation very well. So everybody's going on with their new normal now, and it's working out quite well. So I feel very fortunate, and I'm very happy to be here speaking with you today.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for joining us, no? Kahit medyo busy yung schedule. Yeah.
Well, busy yung schedule means lots of different things. Pero ngayon, most of my time inside the apartment, but thankfully still working, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
Okay. Next naman pa si Ma'am DJ.
Yeah.
Medyo inaantok.
Ako si DJ Salonga, freelance musician, and syempre housewife, no? Yeah, I guess yun lang. Wala akong hindi naman, nagtuturo on the side, yeah. Pero yeah, more of stay home lang right now anyway. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, before we get into yung mga talagang malalaylimang usapan. So, let's talk about how you're coping up with this situation right now that we're currently in. How are you working during this crisis, and how your life has changed, kumbaga? Yeah.
Well, like many other musicians, this thing came down with a thud.
Yes. Biglaan, sobrang biglaan.
Yeah. And napaka-extreme, di ba? Napaka-extreme talaga. I mean, there are orchestras in Australia, in the UK, and in the US. Talagang jobless na. And it's really scary. But now at least we're seeing some sort of upswing again. People are starting to hold performances. I just saw Frankfurt Radio. Yeah, they just did something na naka-social distancing sila. There have been lots of tests already on exactly how far you have to be, how far away you should be from a flautist, or from a trumpet player, from a violinist. And actually, even here in KL, we're going to start trying stuff next month. So,
wow.
Yeah, pero slowly lang muna. You don't want to be in the headlines for the wrong reasons. Diba?
Yes.
Orchestra becomes COVID hotspot. You don't want to be on that list. So it's in the meantime, doing a lot of arranging, and which is not different from, at least that's what I thought from the beginning. I thought, okay, I'll just do a lot of arranging kasi stay-at-home job naman talaga yun. You spend so much time alone as an arranger with your thoughts and with your music. But then what I didn't realize was the amount of distraction pala talaga that you would feel at the beginning. I had CNN on all the time, to see what's going on, and it wears you out. You can't sleep. It was very hard. For the first 2 weeks, I couldn't sleep normally. I was sleeping at 7 in the morning. Alam mo yun, hindi ko.
Nakaka-anxious lalo.
It's this bad feeling, and you just couldn't concentrate. I couldn't finish 4 bars in 1 week. Yung ganon ka grabe. And it never happened to me before. Even under the most extreme circumstances, I was always able to write fluidly, very quickly. And then just came to a grinding halt. Then that's when I realized, oops, I should park this na muna siguro. And get used to the situation.
Yeah.
And then after that, after a couple of weeks, then it became easier to write stuff down.
Well, kailangan talaga na parang you take away mo na yung kaba or yung
nangungulila pa ako dahil yung pamilya ko nasa Manila and I couldn't go. Yeah, I had 3 of my flights were canceled, diba? One flight after another got canceled. That was very frustrating. It was just scary kasi napaka-unknown nung situation. We went through the whole SARS thing, but it wasn't like this.
Yes.
Right? It's
different. Grabe.
Yeah, grabe talaga siya. And of course, there's the big question mark. Nako, will I still have a job? Ganon, all these things. All the musicians here had that problem. They were stressing out big time because all the news was coming out from the States of orchestra players getting furloughed, and it was very distressing. But very luckily, our CEO here has reached out to us to assure us. Even in ABS, the same problems. I mean, but our general manager, our managing director, Mickey Munoz, has been very communicative with us to tell us now, okay, this is the situation. And you compound that with the whole closure of ABS-CBN, diba? And it makes
talagang
for
nakaka-depress.
And then all of our freelance friends.
Yeah.
Because once this starts up again, it's gonna be a while pa rin eh. Hindi naman agad-agad yan. So, I really hope for some good times ahead for everyone.
Yeah. How about Ma'am DJ? Kayo po. Kamusta yung buhay LDR?
Well, yung start ng quarantine, syempre nagsimula rin yung online schooling ng mga bata kasi hindi pa tapos yung pasok nila. So it's actually quite challenging. Actually, kasi sa amin dalawa ni Gerard, siya yung talagang nakatutok sa mga bata pagdating sa mga it's not me. But yeah, and tapos gamit pa laptop pa and then iPad. Hindi talaga ako yan. So I'm like, uwi ka na, hindi naman siya makauwi. So, medyo pagod, kasi hindi nga ako techie, that's one. And second, pagdating sa school, it's Gerard, it's not me. Ay nakatutok sa kanila. Although natuto rin naman, ganun talaga yun. Kailangan mong gawin. So, gawa ka paraan, di ba? So, yun. And then, actually, dito sa bahay kasi may kanya-kanya silang kwarto pero gumawa ako ng isang lugar na kung saan sila pwedeng mag-aral. Yun lang, lugar.
Kumbaga parang classroom setting. Yes.
Nandun yung books. Doon lang pwede yung gamit nila for school. And then, I guess on weekends, dahil medyo praning din ako, may pagka-praning, naglilinis, nagdi-disinfect ako ba? So, So, I mean, siguro kanya-kanya tayo ng, tawag nga ni Gerard, coping mechanism.
Yeah, so coping.
Siguro yun yung sa akin. Lilinis. Yeah. As in, linis, hindi linis, normal linis na walis.
Disinfect talaga.
As in, ceiling, wall.
Ah.
Kung madidikit mo na yung mukha mo dun sa wall, ganun kalinis.
Yun.
Yeah. And that's yun. And then, actually, di pa tapos until now. So, 2 more areas. Itong den ni Gerard, kung saan yung mga music stuff niya, and then the garage. And then after that, na ako, naka-schedule na ako for practice.
Yan, practice.
Violin, oo. Naggawa na ako ng sarili kong program sa sarili ko. Balik sa simula. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parang ito na po yung best time to review, parang balikan yung mga
Yeah. Oo.
Yeah.
Big challenge yan, ha? Trying to stay motivated and keep yourself accountable.
Yeah. Ako din po, sir, ganyan. Parang
ikaw, ano nagagawa mo during this?
First week, parang sabi ko, okay, set ako ng practice time, ganyan, 2 hours, ganyan. So, nung first week, nasusundan ko siya. Pero parang ang tumatagal, parang bakit ba ako nagpa-practice? Parang gano'n na yung feeling. Okay, bakit pa ako magpa-practice? Wala naman ako pinaghahandaan. Parang gano'n.
Yes.
So, ayun, na-burn out siguro talaga ako during that time. Tapos, ayun nga po, nag-start ako mag-YouTube. So, kinareer ko yung covers, yung mga tutorials, ganyan. Tapos, ito nga pong show na to. Yan. And on the side, I tried gardening.
Gardening?
So, yes po.
Which you have never done before.
Yes. During this quarantine lang. Yan. Meron naman pong tumubo. Actually, nakain naman namin siya kahit paano.
What did you plant?
Kangkong, labanos, gano'n.
Okay. Ang galing, ha?
Tapos meron po akong tinanim na flower. Noong una ayaw niyang tumubo. Tapos ngayon malaki na. Then parang sinusubaybayan ko yung progress niya. Kung gaano kalaki yung mangyayari. Yeah. And then I tried to get lessons po. So I met a teacher, si Sir Dimitri Askerov sa Switzerland siya.
Okay.
Medyo parang yun yung nagbalik sa akin ng drive na okay. Parang ang dami ko pa palang kailangang matutunan na I wasn't really aware of na ganito pala yung kulang ko. So parang another perspective of another teacher na hindi ko kakilala. Parang it gave me the chance to actually improve better pa yung mga ginagawa ko before.
That's great. So you're building your marketability as a musician during this time, ano?
Kasi grabe yung pag-hit. Parang nagre-rehearse pa kami with PPO nung time na nag-hit. And then yung last rehearsal, bigla na lang sabi, okay, hanggang 11 lang tayo. Tapos pagbalik namin ng 11:30 after ng break, wala na daw, canceled na. Tapos yun na. Lockdown na kinabukasan, wala na.
Yeah, you didn't even have to have the chance to do a concert.
Yes.
At least kami here, we got to finish a concert. Wala nga lang tao, but we did the concert anyway.
Ito po parang 4 days na lang before the concert. Kasi yung Tuesday ng concert week, which the concert day would be on Friday. So, ayun, wala na.
Wow. Yeah.
Ayun.
You were supposed to play that too, right?
Yes.
DJ was supposed to play there also.
Yeah,
you were together. Yeah.
And yung program,
ang hirap ng program, Chinese na piece.
Oo. But
Oh yeah, that concerto for orchestra, and then there's then Beethoven 5 pa, which is no bargain either, you know.
Yeah.
And then parang dun sa 2 weeks na rehearsals with casuals, 2 beses po nagpalit ng program kasi biglang hindi na tumuloy si Rey Goto. So they had to change the
concerto. It was supposed to be a corn gold. Yeah. I actually was here. I was here when Ryu Goto played it here with us in Malaysia. Yeah, and I did the pre-concert talk with him, with Ryu, about the Corn Gold Concerto for the
Ano,
audience.
nanood ako noon, di ba?
Yeah, you were here, di ba?
Um,
That was nice. He's a great guy, really nice guy, and he's a very motivational speaker. It was very good when we had the pre-concert chat. He really fired up the audience. Not, he didn't sound like he was coming from a high horse. It was all very much. Yeah, it was all very inspiring the way he got the audience really into it. Yeah, so that's good. It's easy. I really
Yeah.
like him. Really smart guy too.
Ayaw.
sobrang
So
talino.
I've been noticing a lot of people have been taking up new skills or sharpening other
Yeah,
knives in
yeah.
the drawer, kumbaga, so to speak. My cooking game has gone up a lot.
Yeah.
I learned to cook a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, so far, because in Malaysia, the what it's called the ECQ in Manila. Here it's called the MCO, or Movement Control Order. That's what the government calls it. No? And it started on March 18. Since March 18, every meal I've had, except for 5 of them, have been prepared by me. I've prepared
Wow.
all my meals except for 5. And those are just those Sundays na, teka, mapapadeliver na lang muna ako. I don't want to
Tinatamad.
cook. Yeah.
Tinatamad na.
Yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
thankful that there's so much delivery service. And where I live, kasi I live in the middle of Kuala Lumpur, right beside the Petronas Towers, they're right outside my window. And there's a lot of restaurants that deliver in the area. So it's easy. Tsaka grocery, madali. Kasi lalakarin ko lang yung mall, 5-minute walk across the street, and I'm there. So at least, it's not too hard. And we don't have they don't have the requirement for a quarantine pass here. It's one guy per household, pero doesn't matter who. Oh.
At least medyo lax po sa ganyan. Pero syempre, mahirap gawin dito yan sa atin.
Well, the recovery rate, this is the discrepancy in recovery rate is so huge
So,
between here and the Philippines. I mean, not even the amount of testing pa lang, but just the recovery rate. It's here there are only 1,500 active cases. It's the hospital system is not being overrun. Kayang-kaya nila.
kaya.
Oo. May multa eh. Nagkaroon ng multa dito eh.
Ulo nila eh, di ba?
Yeah, the fine was what? 1,000 ringgit? 12,000 pesos. If you broke the quarantine, ay!
Di na uy. Ayan. So, mag-ano muna tayo, shout out tayo sa mga viewers.
Sige. Who's with us?
Okay. Sir Arnold Constantino.
Oy,
Hello daw.
Ano? Hello.
Lemuel Asuncion. Bernice Go. Yeah.
Hi, Bernice.
Jerome Gerard. Yan. Sir Emmanuel Albela. Yan. Mga prof na sa UST. Ate Rica. Nanonood din. Mga past guests. Mark Agbata. Yan. So, ayan. Wala pa namang questions na pwede tayo sagutin. So let's
I guess they're
continue.
waiting for us to be done because maybe somewhere along the way we're going to answer a question that they were asking.
So, we've talked about yung ating coping up with this quarantine. Can you share naman po your journey, musical journey, on how you got into music and into your craft right now?
Okay, I guess I'll start. Yeah. I just started with piano lessons. That's it. My sister was taking piano lessons at home, and I was the little brother who wanted to copy. Oh, that looks like fun. Ako naman. And then I started with a teacher named Antoinette Miraflor, who was very, very good. But what was really telling to me, I guess, when I look back on it now, is when I was learning the piano, and she would of course teach me all these notes, and from the very first day that I started taking lessons with her, I felt that every note that each of the 12 notes had a face, to me.
Wow.
Yeah, they had their own. They were there. They sounded very
They have
individual.
a certain character, parang ganun.
Yeah, they had a color and character, which stuck. It stayed, for the rest of my life. So there's a G sound, there's an F sharp sound, there's a B flat sound, and it sort of stayed. And then she just kept teaching me, and she had to move to the U.S. So she handed my sister and me over to Carolyn Kleiner, si Ma'am Caroline Cheng. So
Mm.
GMS.
this is before she got married. Yeah. So she taught us, and we learned at Mrs. Arambulo's school at GMS.
GMS.
Yeah, and I really liked that because since the very beginning, I've always loved playing stuff by ear, and moving, listening to songs on the radio and playing them on the piano. So I would spend countless afternoons, as a 6-year-old, just sitting there trying to figure out these chord progressions on the piano, and moving them to a different key because I couldn't sing it in Barry Manilow's key. So I learned how to do that, and then after the notes had different faces, the different harmonies had different faces as well for me, and I sort of invented my own understanding of tonic, dominant, subdominant, secondary dominant. And then when I went to college, that's when I realized, that's what those things are called, pala. That's what you call them. I call them something else, but that's what everyone else does, pala. So I was happy to know that there was a name for all these weird things that I was hearing in my
So
head.
parang innate na talaga, sir, sa inyo yung harmony.
You call it innate. I just called it. It was like my imaginary friend when I was a kid. Yeah, music was my imaginary friend.
Nice. So parang usually naman po, no? Parang you get that sense of bakit mo nga ba itutuloy yung isang bagay? Kasi you get satisfaction from it, diba? Parang
yeah, it felt like a very personal relationship. So I would think about it all the time, kasi it was always there. It's like the most prominent thing in my brain from the time that I started learning it until now. Parang it's really your best friend. You spend so much time thinking about it, and spending so much time with it. Growing up, and it never abandoned you. It never, sometimes it doesn't love you as much as you love it.
Yan na lang yung pinakapitan, kumbaga.
Yeah, at least it loves you a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit.
And then growing up, it was never occurred to me to become a musician. It's just something that I loved. I wanted to go to college to be a writer. I started out in Ateneo as an English literature major. I wanted to be a journalist. My hero was Max Sullivan. I wanted to be him. And middle of college, I started looking at music again, and it really grabbed me this time. And I really said, okay, this is something I want to do. I can live without a lot of things, but I can't live without music.
Yeah.
So that was some middle of my college days. That's when I realized it. Then at that time, Leia was working a lot with Mr. C. So he said, okay, after I graduated from Ateneo, I talked to him, and he said, okay, check this place out. And he said, there's this school, Berkeley, Tots went there, Louis Ocampo, Bob Aves went there, Quincy Jones graduated from there. You want to check it out, if you want to get into commercial music or music as a livelihood. That's probably a good place to check out. And it's okay. So I went and applied, and then there's this lag between the time that you apply and the time that you go. So Mr. C put me into his second year theory class. And the reason for that was, okay, going to school to study music is not just all the stuff that you like. You're gonna have to sit down and learn how to analyze your Bach chorales and these things. And he put me into his second year theory class, and I didn't have the benefit of a first year theory class. So he put me in there, and I felt a little stupid for a couple of weeks. and then I started to catch up, and then that's when he said, okay, yeah, you could do this. So that gave me a lot of confidence, and I'm really thankful for that. So after went to Berkeley, graduated, and then came back to Manila to work, and then
Work.
that's it. Yeah, I mean, conducting was never. I was doing a similar chat to this last week with one of my colleagues here, and she asked, let's talk about how you got to KL, how you got to MPO, and how you got into conducting. And she was surprised to know that conducting was really never on my radar in the beginning. There are a lot of guys I know, who very early on in their college or postgraduate, they're like, I want to be a conductor. I have an ambition to be a conductor, and I'll do everything I can to do. I didn't do that. I wasn't like that. It just kind of happened. I was really an arranger first, who happened to be the musical director for the project. Therefore, I have to conduct it.
So parang it's part of the job.
Substantial. It wasn't a matter of ambition. It was a matter of circumstance. And then, of course, Repertory Philippines hired me to conduct Carousel. That was the first thing I ever conducted, and did more theater stuff. And colleagues in the orchestra, people like DJ and Benji Bautista, they were very encouraging. Pare, study symphonies. They're like, study symphonies. That it'll help you become a better conductor, and it'll make people have fun working with you. Even if you're just doing pop your whole life, if you're good at it, with all the procedure and conducting and all that, it'll be enjoyable to work with you. So
Nice.
That's what sort of pushed me along to try to improve on it. And the only way to improve on it is really to learn symphonies.
Yes.
And stuff. Yeah. You have to dive into even arranging naman. When we were learning orchestration in Berkeley, our references were the symphonic repertoire. We didn't use popular music or film music as our references. It was always Brahms. It was always Stravinsky. It was always Ravel. It was always Debussy. That's where you learn.
Yes.
So it made sense to do that with the conducting as well, because even in Berkeley, the conducting there was Beethoven Violin Concerto. It was Appalachian Spring. It was all these things. So it's really grounded in the symphonic concert repertoire.
It's really parang shows na doon talaga nang galing lahat ng inaaral natin.
Yeah.
Whatever part of music you're trying to play, you need to learn from backtracking to actually get what you need.
And I was quite insecure about it for a very long time. I mean, I suffer from this syndrome na it's like what do you call it? Like an imposter syndrome. I'm such a hack. If you're such a hack.
Kasi hindi naman yun talaga yung ginagawa niyo.
Yeah. So when the Hong Kong Phil opened the position for assistant conductor, I said, okay, sige, I'll apply for this. And this is going to be the thing that tells me if I should conduct or not, because then I'd have to do an audition.
Yes.
So I made the finals, and I had to audition with the orchestra, and Jaap van Zweden was there, the music director. Wow. He was there during the audition, sitting in the horn section, that side of the orchestra. So I said, okay, if he throws me out, if he doesn't think I'm any good, then this is the time, because not only is he a famous conductor, he was also concertmaster of Amsterdam Concertgebouw from the time that he was 19 years old. And he was concertmaster there for 18 years, 17 years. So not only as a conductor, but as an orchestral musician, he'd be able to tell in 10 seconds, siguro, if I could conduct well or not. So this is it. This is the right guy to tell me if I can do this or not. So I did it. It was the audition was Beethoven 5, the first movement of Beethoven 5, and the last movement of Brahms 1. And as you know, that first measure of Beethoven 5, you can start and end your career at the same time.
Yes.
With that, with that pickup, So I think of it as a pickup. Some people don't, but I do. Now, if you do that wrong, that's it. It's over, right? The whole symphony's gone.
Yeah.
So, thankfully, I won the audition and got to work with him for 2 years in Hong Kong, and with the orchestra and spend time with them. That was it. That for me, that's what told me, na, okay, this guy thought I was all right, so I can do it.
Baka tama. Maybe I'm doing right.
He was very generous with everything that he knew. I got a lot of FaceTime with him, at rehearsals in the dressing room, etc. And he really shared a lot of knowledge. The guy's got so much experience, from being a concertmaster of one of the world's greatest orchestras to being now the music director of the New York Philharmonic. Yeah, I mean, he really taught me a lot, especially how to dig stuff out of a score.
Yes.
Because there are scores, like we were doing Schubert the Great, and he was conducting. I was assisting him, Schubert 9, and it could really be the most boring thing in the world if you don't do it right.
Mm.
He made it exciting, and in the dressing room he would show me your score. You open it up and see this, you see this, you do this, you see that, you do that, and he would really guide me through these things and how to make things alive. How to make it pass through something and make you alive, make music alive, and it really, really opened my eyes and ears. Yeah, actually, prior to the Hong Kong audition, I auditioned for this orchestra when they invited me to come and conduct Ratatouille in concert. And at the same time as that concert, they were holding resident conductor auditions. So the general manager said, "Hey, while you're here, you wanna do the audition?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, why not? It's a great orchestra."
Why not?
and I that's when I realized, okay, I'm gonna find out how I respond to this kind of situation, how my body responds, and that experience really helped me for the Hong Kong audition. Yeah.
So, sir, nauna pala yung Malaysia before Hong Kong?
Nauna siya. I didn't get it the first time. I didn't get it the first time. But after 2 years in Hong Kong, they called me and they asked if I'd be interested to be the resident conductor here. And of course, the first question I asked was, "Do I have to audition again?" No, you don't have to audition again, because by that point I'd already conducted the orchestra about 5 or 6 times.
So after that stint, parang you continually played with MPO na.
Yeah, I got invited back a lot.
Yes.
Even while I was in Hong Kong. Yeah, so it was so that sort of took care of my audition to get this job that I have now.
Right.
Yeah, and it's been great. The orchestras, my colleagues here are all very. It's like a family. You really feel it. There's a very strong bond amongst the musicians here.
Community.
Yeah, and the fact that so many of us are expats. Because the orchestra majority of the orchestra is expat, and so am I. So that's a big deal that we feel, and I feel very welcome into this community.
Yes.
So that's pretty much where I am now.
How about, sir, may iba pa po ba kayong you consider as a mentor in conducting before you met Sir Jap Van Sweden?
Before I met Yap, conducting, well, I took master classes, with Laura Jackson when she came to Manila. I took a master class with Jeffrey Meyer when he came to Manila. But I never really had a conducting mentor.
Not really.
No, the closest thing I had to a conducting mentor was my wife, was DJ. Because from the very beginning, kasama ko na siya lagi. She was always playing. And there was even one time, very early on, bagong-bago pa lang kami. And then there was a rehearsal where I didn't do particularly well. And she told me the truth. And then we were bagong-bago pa lang kami, so there wasn't that trust pa. You don't have that trust yet. And I reacted very violently. I was in tears, and I drove home very dangerously. I was kaskas all the way home, and it scared her. She was in the front seat. She couldn't say anything. So after we finally got to my house, that's when she said, "No, that was the scariest thing that she'd ever seen." But of course, as time goes on, you learn how to speak to each other, and you learn how to receive things from each other. So until now, she probably says stuff to me that's even more harsh than that, but because we've been together so long, it's taken much differently. Oh. Kasi miski yung isang recent performance ko dito, after the first concert, we had a discussion and she goes, "Oh, itong phrase na to didn't feel natural, you know. So tomorrow try something else." And because there's always two concerts here, Saturday and Sunday. Hindi naman one time lang yung concert.
Okay.
Get a second chance, and the orchestra is so good at following a conductor. They're so good. You could change something without saying
They'll
anything,
follow.
and it will sound totally different. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, and so not only did that address that musical instance, it also built up the bond that I have with this orchestra, the nonverbal communication, diba?
The trust that they
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a while to build that. It's a trust. It's also it's nonverbal. It's a kind of sign language, and where they know, they know. It's like that.
Baga, same thinking, same mindset.
Yeah, and they have that with each other. Na kasi that's the thing. They have it with each other because they've been playing together for a long time now, and they know their hall very well. They know each other very well. So. It's really amazing when you change something and then
Everyone follows.
the whole thing changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually a thing because I was assisting a really good conductor here last year named Mark Wigglesworth. He was the music director of the English National Opera.
Wow.
And we were doing Mahler 9 here. So, which is one hell of a piece, And at lunch, I would go to lunch with him with my score. He have his score, I have my notebook, and we would go over the stuff that went on in the morning that he would like to fix in the afternoon, for example. So, okay, Maestro, here's what I've got. So I just read him my list, And he told me that he's putting them, the stuff I'm telling him, he's putting them into two separate lists himself. I go, what do you mean? There are two things, two ways to fix these problems, he says. And one way is to tell the orchestra there are things that can be fixed by you telling them verbally. And there are other things, though, he said, another list. Now, you can change something by doing something differently with your hands.
Nice.
Now, it'll only work with a certain level of orchestra, of course. I mean, if you're working with a youth orchestra or whatever, it might not work that way. Maybe the verbal list will be longer than the non-verbal list, but with an orchestra like this, the non-verbal list is longer. Kasi nga, you can. Yeah. So he woke me up. He awakened me to this sort of system, and I've been employing it also. I'll use post-it flags. I don't know if you noticed the last time we worked together. I had I kept dropping them on the score.
Yeah.
That way, when it came time to address things, I wouldn't forget where. But I wouldn't tell you guys everything about what's on what the flags were. Sometimes I would go, okay, this is something I gotta say. So I'll talk to the orchestra. This one, hindi. I don't have to tell them this. I'll just do this differently and it'll cure it. So it's a distinction that takes a little time to learn, but very, very effective.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bago tayo magpunta kay Ma'am DJ, shout out po rin natin yung mga viewers and Kuya Jason Templanuevo watching. Jasper Andra, Emma Ross Abarico Juarez from Texas daw.
Yes.
Jerome Gerard, Gary Fabricante, and Sherwin Pia. Yeah, they're watching.
Oh, Sherwin Pia is a violinist here in MPO.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Sherwin. He born in Manila, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, he's not Filipino, but he was born in Manila.
Was born in Manila.
Yeah. He's a classmate of Jonathan Koo. Yeah, sa Eastman.
Sa Eastman.
Yeah, really good players. Well, he was one of the original members here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Si Kuya Gian Gonzalez. Shout out daw po. So, Kuya Bench Kawan. And dumadami na. Rhea Jane Yulde. Okay.
Nice that you're all joining us. Sana, if people have questions and stuff, they should
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Si Sir Ralph Thailand also
Hi,
watching.
Ralph.
Hi, love.
Emil Salud
Emil Salud.
from
He's my
Cali.
friend from LA. Yeah.
Hi, Emil.
Sup,
Ray
dog?
Senga. Yeah. Yeah. So they're watching po. May question actually dito, sir.
Okay.
I think it's the right time to answer this because we were talking about the pandemic. From Mark Agpasa, ano pong masasuggest nyo sa mga musicians right now that are affected of the pandemic, being the events and music industry is the last to open?
Ooh, wow. That's
Gerard naman sa
yeah,
sumagot.
that's a very
Mabigat yan.
no, but there are things that it's not like okay. There are things that you are in control of,
Yes, sir.
right? And there are things that you are not in control of. Worry about the things that you can control,
Yes, sir.
which is what as a musician, what can you control? How well you play is in your in your
How
control, right?
can you grow within yourself?
Yeah.
Para
How you
paglabas
can
mo
get better.
dito,
Yeah, get better and be ready for when this thing opens up again. Like what
Kasi
you're saying, you're increasing your marketability. You're raising your level so that by the time things start up again, you're better than you were before it started.
yeah.
Right? So keep working on that that part, the part you can control. So
Yeah.
make a list, make 2 lists. Stuff I can control, stuff I cannot. Burn the one that says stuff that you can that you cannot, and focus on the things that you can. And the number one as a musician, what you can control is how good I can get.
How you are.
Yeah, how good I can get, or what. Maybe watch some documentaries. I was starting to watch yesterday this documentary. Well, not really documentary. It's called Testimony. It's a movie. It's about the relationship of Shostakovich and Stalin. And it stars Ben Kingsley as Shostakovich. It's on YouTube, so anybody can watch it. It's called Testimony. So I've been watching that. There's also this audio recording from from interviews of different musicians who worked with Gustav Mahler in the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the old principal bassoon of the old New York Symphony, where Mahler was. Yeah. Mga ganon. But there was the New York Symphony kasi, tapos there was the New York Philharmonic Society.
It's different.
Oh, and at that time, the New York Symphony was better. Or at least the guys in the New York Symphony were saying, because we're better than,
We're better.
who knows the truth naman talaga there.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. You had the principal bassoon talking, concertmaster talking, one of the double bass players talking, and they were talking about Mahler, what he was like. And these were people who knew Mahler. It was fascinating. It was shared with me by Simon Eames, the principal oboe here, and the guy just knows so much stuff. every time I mean, with all the musicians here, every time I speak to them, it's like going to a master class, really. Like our principal double bass here used to be in the Berlin Phil. He played for Karajan. He played for Abado.
Wow.
And he comes to the dressing room if I'm conducting something. He'll come to me really and really tell me stuff.
Nice.
And you never feel like he's telling you off. He always you feel like he's telling you because he wants you to know this.
Gets better.
It's gonna make you better. So galing. These are things you can control. What you learn.
So don't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Learn a new style. I don't know what is plays, but
si Mark po kasi is conductor also.
it's a conductor. Then learn repertoire. Learn repertoire. Learn something that's outside your comfort zone. For example, if you're a choral conductor, learn a Mozart symphony. Diba? If you're an orchestral conductor, learn Verdi Requiem so you can get your choral chops going.
So you get your mind to a new perspective, kumbaga.
And this is the time, like for me personally, this is the time I get to learn what I want to learn and not what I have to learn. Diba? Kasi my job here says, okay, I have to learn Scriabin symphony by this date. I have to learn Vaughan Williams, etc. I don't have to. I have to conduct Shostakovich in June, and I was supposed to conduct Shostakovich 9 in June, which is not happening anymore. But but now I can focus on the stuff I want.
which is
Mahler
nice.
4 has been on the back burner for me for a long time. Now I get to read Mahler 4. You know,
Maganda.
I bought a subscription to Encoda. Are you familiar with Encoda, Ryan? It's an iPad.
Parang, yes,
Yeah, it's where all the Breitkopf stuff is. Now I can look at all the Beethoven symphonies at my own, take my sweet time.
yes. So, parang Spotify ng music
Yeah.
scores.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's a subscription, but it's official. You know, you get the proper Breitkopf. So I can
The nicest editions.
yeah, I can read my favorite Schumanns or whatever. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's actually it's what you make of it. Eh?
Mm,
Of course, the financial burden is real. You can't deny
Yeah.
that it's there. You know, but you have a lot of very creative-minded musicians diversifying into other income streams.
Yes.
You
Yung
have
mga music groups nga po dito, parang naging buy and sell groups na eh. Mga Tocino, mga gano'n. Pero
yeah, yeah.
it's the way you need to do things that would help you. It's about surviving right now. Hindi naman siya,
Yeah.
ano eh.
You have to
Parang
survive.
you have to survive first. And then, the time that you have right now, diba? Parang, it's what you do with your time right now. But you don't have to always be super productive. Kasi
No,
it's
that's not
also,
the thing. You think you have to, no? Pero actually, hindi din
No.
eh. Hindi din naman eh. No.
yes. Kailangan ma-balance pa rin yung kung ano yung ginagawa mo ngayon. Diba? Kasi, I for one talaga, parang nakikita ko po kasi, ang problem with a lot of musicians here in the Philippines is that parang pag wala kang ginagawa is parang wala kang kwenta, ganun yung feeling, ganun nila na nakikita. Na parang pag wala kang tugtog, wala kang ginagawa, hindi ka nagpa-practice. Pero I think they forget that recovery and rest is also part of the cycle of growth.
And your
dapat-
mental health, psychological health is big.
Lalo ngayon talaga na parang there should be a time for everything, for rest, for practice, for growth. And growth doesn't necessarily mean na kailangan lagi mong ginagawa. But you have to manage it in a way na magiging beneficial for you. Right?
Mm-mm. That's very good. Yeah, that's very good. And
Okay.
don't worry about the stuff that's out of your control kasi you'll go nuts thinking about that kasi wala kang magagawa eh. It's like trying to stop a typhoon, you know. You can't do that.
Yeah, true.
Or stop an
Hindi
earthquake.
mo kontrolado yun. So,
Yeah.
there's something by Emma Ross Aberico Juarez.
Yes,
The
Emma.
coronavirus
Mutya.
pandemic has left countless members of the music community facing an uncertain future. Yeah, sabi niya.
Yeah.
I think hindi natin kayang sagutin to.
What's the question?
Kung may funds na daw ba? Kamusta daw yung funds sa Philippines and Malaysia? I don't know.
Well, thankfully, the orchestra here is still being paid.
Mm.
You know, we're very lucky that our sole source of funding here is Petronas, and we haven't heard anything. You know, our CEO has told us. Yeah, the CEO has told us that you still continue to. But of course, the organization also needs to evolve to adapt to the situation. You can't just sit still, or else you become a dinosaur. What happens to the dinosaurs? They ended up 6 feet under the ground, you know.
Yes.
So it's a matter of evolving and adapting, which we are definitely working hard on. I mean, ABS as well. The ABS orchestra is still receiving their salary. Although there are several of us, you know, myself included, of course, that took a pay cut to help, you know. So we did that, and then I think Sinadino, the CCP, the PTO,
CCP, continues.
So swerte rin sila. And so there's a lot to be thankful for. Of course, my mind really I worry a lot about the ones who are not in the situation, you know, freelancers.
Yeah.
So that's really what worries me most. Freelance artists. I mean, the really big ones, like the big soloists that I've spoken to, that I get to chat with online all the time, and they're okay. and the ones who do a lot of European engagements are being called back to Europe. You know, so it's starting up again in Europe. So that at least the soloists and conductors are in that
Yes,
circle, no problem. You know,
But the small ones, yung mga sa bars, sa
yun na nga eh.
restaurant.
It's the freelancers, even in Hong Kong, the hotel musicians, diba?
Yeah.
That they've really been hit quite hard, and it's a difficult time. Yeah, but then again, you know, it really depends how you look at it. Is it a point of failure, or is it an opportunity for success? You know,
Yes.
you take control of the things that you can control. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, si Kuya Christian Tan is also
Hi
watching.
Christian, kamusta?
Yan.
Kabalengko.
Mga former.
Alam ko kayong ano.
Ayan. So, si Ma'am DJ naman po. Can you share how you started?
Yeah, share your musical journey.
Parang napaka-interesting po ng inyong journey.
Yes. Oo.
Mahaba yata to. Paano ko ba explain? Ano ba? Started 3 years old, no? Violin.
Wow.
Pero
Ano
yun,
pong size ng violin nun?
wow, ano, siguro matandaan. Ayun. Siguro matandaan ko anong size ng violin. But yun, summer lang yun. I started tuwing summer lang. Nung 3 and 4. And then, nung 5 years old ako, tinanong ako ng mom ko kung gusto ko na mag-regular lesson. Like, meaning, like, every week may lesson.
Every week. Yes.
Oo. So, for some reason, sinagot ko, sige, okay. Yeah. Napili ako violin or piano eh. But, ang sagot ko daw nung bata ako, violin daw. So, yun, dun nagsimula. I started actually in Hong Kong kasi dun ako pinanganak. Started with Marcus Lehman. He used to be, I'm not sure kung anong position niya sa Hong Kong field, but he was part of Hong Kong Philharmonic Orchestra nung time na yun. And yung pumunta si Mr. Manalo, si Sir Billy sa Hong Kong, he actually listened to me play. 7 years old ako nito. And that time, I was already playing Vivaldi Concerto.
Wow.
Magaling kasi talaga magturo itong si Marcus Lehman. I started with Suzuki, and learned 4 books in 2 years.
Wow.
Siguro, ewan ko, siguro yun lang, siguro rin ang outlet ko.
Siguro pa pala na-enjoy niyo yung pag-violin during that time.
Siguro sa umpisa, yes. But
Sabagay, parang lahat naman yata ganun.
bata naman, gusto nanonood din ng cartoons, di ba?
Yes.
I wasn't even allowed to watch TV hanggat hindi ako natatapos practice ng violin nung maliit ako. Talagang very strict yung mom ko sa akin noon. But I guess nasanay na rin. And then, yun nga, pinakinggan nga ako ni Sir Billy. He said, kinausap niya yung mom ko, and then, pinababalik niya ako sa Manila.
Wow.
Sabi niya, siya daw, turuan daw niya ako. So, yun, iksian ko na lang, di bumalik ako Manila na mag-8 years old ako. And then ever since nun, it was Mr. Manalo who taught me violin. And then, balik ako actually sa umpisa pagka-aral ko sa kanya kasi ibang method, iba lahat, pati posisyon. So, lahat binago, kanan, kaliwang, kamay. And then, I guess, yeah, after nun, ano ba? Outlet ko nga, so parang ano, yun lang ang actually buhay ko, violin.
Mm.
Never thought of taking up
Anything else?
anything else, kundi music. I already knew. Noon pa lang, ganun pa lang
Bata
kabata.
pa.
Yun ang gusto kong gawin. So, yeah, hindi naman nag-stop yun. Although, may moments kami ni Mr. Manalo. Kasi, yeah, very strict kasi siya eh.
Pag mga old school talaga na teacher.
Tsaka, twice a week ako nagle-lesson. Monday, Thursday ang lessons ko. Twice
Ano
a week.
naman po yun? Parang only, ganun. Hindi.
Uy, ano actually kahit may okasyon, kahit Christmas, kahit New
Yun
Year,
nga po, no?
walang
Talagang kailangan mag-lesson ka.
wala mag-lesson ka and memorize lahat. So, ang lesson mo hindi lang etude, dalawang etude memorize. Isang movement ng concerto and then Bach.
Wow. Parang every week may recital ka.
ang lagi niyang sinasabi, habang bata ka, kailangan tuloy-tuloy yung pag-aaral mo. At saka yung memory, ano rin yan ni-exercise mo yung brain mo eh. So, kailangan, pag may memorya mo, kailangan talaga gawin mo lagi para,
Para masanay.
o masanay ka. So, yeah. Yung minsan, syempre, hindi siya nasa-satisfy sa lesson. So, minsan wala pang 5 minutes, pinauuwi ka na. Pinauuwi ka na pagkatapos mo maglakad na ang layo-layo kasi wala namang commute lang ako noon, no? So, ang layo ng lalakarin mo from labas papunta dun sa house nila kasi
bahay nila.
oo, nung nandun sa Forbes pa sila nun sa Mahogany, ang layo talaga. So pagdating mo dun, pawisan ka, gano'n.
Hindi ka pa naka-recover? Kabado ko pa?
Oh, well, medyo nasanay naman na rin pagsigaw niya. No? Pero, yun. Actually, yung masakit sa akin doon minsan nung bata ko, yung 5 minutes pa lang, pauuwiin ka na. Hindi siya talaga convinced na nag-practice ka. Tatanungin ka niya. Hindi, sasabihin niya, hindi ka nag-practice. Sabihin ko, hindi, nag-practice po ako. And then, hindi siya convinced. And then he'll say, yun, hindi ka nag-practice. Umuwi ka na. Parang wini-waste ko na yung time niya. Hindi ko daw dapat tagahin ng panahon niya. Kasi, yun. Mataas ang ano niya. Hindi siya masatisfy. Pauwiin ako after 5 minutes. Actually, hours pa lang ng etude, pauwiin na ako. So, yeah. And then, nagkaroon din ng time na nagkatampuhan kami ni Mr. Manalo. Nakakatawa tong kwentong to Kasi, sabi niya, sige, huwag ka na magpakita. Sabi niya, huwag daw ako magpakita. So, hindi nga ako nagpakita. Ryan, hindi ako nagpakita. As in, hindi ako pumupunta sa orchestra rehearsal every Saturday. So, hindi talaga ako nagpapakita. Tapos, magdanam siya na kasi noon, 88? Di ko na maalala, 88 ba? And then, hinahanap niya ako. Sabi niya kaila Ate Gina, nasa na yung Gaga? Gaga tawag sa akin noon Tapos, sabi nila, Sir, sabi niyo, wag na magpakita So, hindi nga nagpakita. Ay, Gaga talaga. Gaga daw talaga ako. So, sabi mo sa kanya, mag-lesson na siya. So, nagpakita ko. mamaya niya, parang, I think nung time na yun, nung NAM siya, parang nagsisimula na mag-ensayo o mag-aral yung ibang kasamahan ko, like sila Dino, sila, ano bang, ano ko nun, category B, sila, ano ba, sila Cecil ko, I think, Cecil ko, basta yung mga kasabay ko, sila Grace, sila, ay si Grace, ano, di ko na maalala eh. Sila Jeffrey yata, ano. Anyway, yeah, parang 2 buwan na lang.
Nam siya na.
Ano na, magsisimula na yung NAM siya. So, sabi ko, sir, wala akong, parang ang iksi para mag-aral ng anong pyesa. And then, sabi niya, sige, mag-review ka na lang ng concerto and then, yung aralin na lang yung contest piece and then, then kasi yung, back, hindi ko na maalala rin. But anyway, nag-review ako ng concerto. So, yeah. So, yun ang na-prepare ko for NAM siya. Yun yata yung pinakamaiksing preparasyon ko for competition. That time.
Tapos, nanalo po kayo doon.
Siyempre.
Yes.
Siyempre.
That's the point of the story, Ryan.
Yun.
Yeah, ano naman, sinwerte naman at nanalo naman ako all 3 categories. So,
Wow.
Every time she's joined, Ryan, she won first prize.
Nice.
so, but
She's
What
no,
more can you say, diba?
so, kasi naman Ryan, wala naman akong ginagawa nun kundi beauty.
Yun na din po talaga yung libangan nyo.
At saka ang schedule ko, may routine yan no? Every day. Kasi nakatira ko noon high school ako, kasama ko si Sister Placid sa scenes ko. High school ako. So,
Sa Saints ko po kayo nakastay.
Kasama ko Sister Placid. So, we wake up really early kasi there's mass every day at around 6:10, 6:15, parang ganyan. So, every day, tumutugtog ako kasama ko si Sister Placid sa scenes ko. So, and then after namin, yun, after mass na nagtumugtog nga ako with sister, we have breakfast together and then we open the music department.
Yun, taga-bukas.
Taga-bukas ako ng music department at nag-i-ensayo na ako before magsimula ang class sa school.
So
and
parang wala naman kasi yung gagawin gano'n.
Wala. Minsan nagtutugtugan kami ni Sister Placid after afternoons ganun. So yan ang buhay ko actually. Bulin. And I think to make the story short, siguro napagod din ako, no? Kasi all my life yun lang ang ginagawa ko Bulin.
Hindi naman naiwasan yun.
Oo. So, yeah. Siguro yung iba nag-wonder why hindi ako, like iba na talaga, yun na talaga ang career nila. But there was a time na ang gusto ko na lang magkaroon ng family. No? And I think, masaya ako ngayon, having happy family. Yeah.
Pero hindi nyo naman po iniwan totally yung violin.
Hindi ko naman iniwan. Actually,
shift lang ng focus. Parang gano'n.
Kasi marami very colorful life actually. Ako, yung buhay ko. And hindi ko na kailangan siguro isa-isahin pa. Yeah, but tuloy-tuloy naman din ako nag-work, nag-San Miguel ako, nag-audition ako for San Miguel. I was actually the associate nung time na yun. Nagkatabi kami ni Kuya Benji. sa San Miguel Philharmonic. And then, after nun, nag-MPO ulit, Manila Philharmonic, and then nagkaroon ng global. And then, nung nandun ako, parang I wanted to try like managing the orchestra. So I tried it. I think okay naman ako nun. Start kasi yung global as studio orchestra, recording orchestra, and then it started yung public na performance 2008. And then because of nawala siya kasi mahabang rin yun. Yung main kasi business ng company medyo naalangan.
Diba?
But it was, lahat naman ng experiences na yan, marami ka matututunan eh.
Yeah.
And then nagkaroon ng ABS, tapos tumutugtog din ako doon, and then rin ako ng orchestra, nag-manage din ako. And then I had to resign because of health reasons. Nagkasakit ako 2016. But magaling na ako ngayon, no? I was diagnosed kasi with cancer, breast cancer, stage 2A. We call it stage 2A. I had surgery. Went through chemo. But now I'm okay. Right now, I still play kasi love ko naman talagang tumugtog eh. Lang ang priorities. Family ang
Family and yun talaga yung prayer. Pero syempre, ang dami nyo pa rin pong projects, no?
Yeah, oo. Masaya akong nung una nga gusto ko nga mag-join ng PPO eh. Kung kaya ko ba physically kasi nung nag-open.
Very tiring nga.
Kaya lang medyo lately, ang daming ginagawa kasi ng PPO, di ba?
Nalilipad saan.
Oo. So, physically parang ayoko rin kasing mag-commit ng hindi ako 100%.
Parang naririnig din po natin dun sa mga regular sa PPO, parang medyo stressful nga yung mga projects nila, no? Kaya parang mapaisip ko eh.
Happy
siya, pero
yung siya, nakasama ko dun sa Japan tour, di ba?
Yun.
But talaga napagod ako dun. Kaya minsan namamasyal na lahat yung iba. Ako, hindi ko kaya talaga. Tutulog lang. Papahinga lang ako. So, kahit na gusto mo, sometimes kailangan mo mag-desisyon na ano ba? Kaya mo ba? Kahit na gusto mo, di ba? Pero pag di kaya ng katawan, huwag ipilit. So, I guess, yun yung aking journey. Yes.
Very inspiring po yung journey. Both.
Nung bata ko, I think,
diba?
Alin?
Because the kids are getting more things by themselves. She's been able to sort of rededicate herself to the violin eh.
Yes.
Kasi medyo na yung mga bata.
They're big.
They can handle themselves na. So, hindi mo na kailangan super hand.
So,
there's time for her now.
I start, syempre, back. I think that's very important.
Didn't you recently receive your Suzuki teacher training as well?
Yeah, I also attended that sa GMS. Kasi nga, syempre dahil nag-iba na yung direksyon, I was thinking of teaching, yun nga, mga bata. Yan. So that's why I attended this teacher training. Sa kay Mrs. Arambulo sa GMS ng Suzuki training. Yeah. Nakausap ko nga si Dr. Lanku, and yeah, he said, yeah, tuloy ko lang, Oo. But sabi ko nga, syempre hindi naman ako kasing experience ng most of yung kasabay ko noon kasi was like si Benj, nagtuturo na kasi si Benj, Kaaway, ganon. Sila, sino ba nandun? Sila Carmina. Although, oo, maganda kasi, alam mo, hindi ko naman sila talagang kilala na but noon naging maganda yung samahan. Yeah. Marami
Nice.
ka matututunan from them kasi mga nagtuturo na sila. Oo. So maganda talagang mag-attend ka ng mga ganyan para may natututunan ka. Dapat yung learning hindi tumitigil. Dapat tuloy-tuloy lang yan. Oo. Kahit na like ako, may family, you can still learn, no? Hanggang tumanda ka, pwede ka pa rin matuto. So, yeah.
Baga, iba kasi thinking after school, wala na. Parang alam mo na dapat lang. It's not like that, especially sa music.
Tsaka even sa pagtugtog mo ng violin, it changes no?
Yeah.
Minsan, like position, gano'n. Yeah, marami kang matututunan and ikaw mismo, pag ikaw mismo sumubok dun sa mga pinagagawa sa'yo, sasabihin mo, ay, oo nga, no? Mas madali nga gawin to.
Parang na-open yung perspective mo lagi. Yun yung parang mahalaga sa pag-aaral.
Yeah, oo.
So sometimes we get stuck.
Kailangan maging open ka Kailangan lang open ka. And, open ka sa, pagtanggap ng mga hindi naman ibig sabihin nakatapos ka na tapos na yun
Yes.
Yeah. I guess.
So you always need to be parang a student, no? Kahit na tapos na yung pag-aaral.
And kailangan talaga, I think, napansin ko kasi dito sa atin, meron iba nasasaktan kapag napagsasabihan,
Totoo yan. Marami pong ganyan.
Hindi dapat.
Yung mindset nila na parang napagsabihan ka lang ng ganito, sasabihin na, sisiraan ako na or something like that. May mga ganun. Parang you have to take it in a way na magbe-benefit ka. No? Kasi kahit ano pa yung sinabi niya, kung may mapupulot ka namang aral or how they might have said it, kung may makukuha ka to improve yourself, why not take it?
One of the best pieces of advice I ever received from anyone is wake up every morning as a pupil.
Nice.
Because that will also affect the way you deal with other people, how accepting you are of what they tell you.
Yes.
Also, it'll keep you humble in a real way, not yung false modesty.
But it keeps you grounded.
If there's one thing that really gets under my skin, it's false modesty. There's a difference kasi between that and actual humility.
Yes.
Diba? As Filipinos, we tend to confuse modesty with humility. You can be very, very confident as a person and still be very, very humble.
Yes.
Or you could be very shy and extremely, mayabang. So there's a difference. So there, I always trust that people can tell the difference. between humility and false modesty.
Yes.
Tsaka I guess, hanggang ngayon I seek advice, from people I trust, Siyempre kasama na si Gerard dyan, But with like yung playing core, I ask Ate Gina, or Dino, or kahit hindi siguro violinista, somebody who can give you good advice or feedback dun sa tugtog mo na you trust, someone you trust.
Someone you trust na alam mong will give you advice that would give you something to parang may mapulot ng lesson. Hindi yung sasabihin, pangit. Bakit pangit? Hindi ko din alam pangit. Di ba may mga ganun na tao
Kasi,
parang,
di ba, pag tumutugtog tayo, minsan meron kang hindi nakikita na nakikita
yes,
nila.
opo, may nakikita na yun.
So, yeah, hingi ka ng
So you
feedback.
really need to get feedback. Parang you can grow on your own, pero mas maganda kung mas mabilis yung progress if you can get as much feedback as possible
Yes.
na would help with
Yes.
your playing. Especially sa violin po kasi parang napansin ko when I had these lessons nga. Parang yung ibang mga teachers are very keen dun sa parang mechanics or yung movements, yung ganyan, aside sa musicality. So parang iba yung mas mabilis nilang nakikita. Kumbaga, walang judgment sa musicianship mo kasi nakita nila na, dito ka may kulang. Parang very tangible, kumbaga. Hindi subjective yung feedback na binibigay. Kumbaga, objective siya.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
andito na po si
there's two things. There's people you trust and people who know what they're talking about. Mamaya, the person you trust know what they're talking about.
Sabagay. Kailangan both.
Oo, kailangan trusted and credible at the same time.
Oo naman.
Baka mamaya tropa mo lang pala. No?
Tropa mo lang
Tapos
pala. Support ka lang na, oy, galing mo naman. Tapos yun lang.
Galing mo.
Oo.
Mahirap din. Yeah. So, bago tayo magpunta sa next topic, si Sir Mike Del Rosario.
Ay, Michael, kamusta?
Hi.
Kamusta po? Yeah. And si Jedrick Itugot.
Hi, Jedrick.
Hello.
Divine Nancy.
I don't know.
Kilala niyo po yun. And si Miss Gina din po watching right now.
Hi, Gina.
Yeah. Baka pwede rin nating awitan si Ma'am Gina.
Yeah, she would be a great guest for this.
Yeah.
She can handle very, very well. Oh, she's very smart.
Sir Edwin Dolosa also watching.
Hi, Brad.
Derek Atangan.
Derek.
Watching. Derek, punta ka na lang dito. Sama ka na.
Pala, sa inyo,
Malapit lang po yung bahay nila sa amin.
Yeah, that's right.
Ang video nyo,
Yan. Stacy Manyares.
Hi, Stacy.
From UST.
Stacy here in Malaysia or in Manila? Kasi nakita ko siya dito.
Nag-Malaysia nga ate. Pili ko na sa Manila po siya ngayon.
Okay.
Hello.
So, let's talk about yung love story. Yes. How you met and how it started. Yeah.
We met on a gig. We met. I was conducting. She was playing.
Wow.
Yun, doesn't it started just the normal because I associate with musicians. That's I don't, they're my friends. I hang out with them a lot, and that's where it started. You just your friends. You hang out, and then wala, just
nag-click lang.
Oh, yeah, we got along. We enjoyed each other's company. We still do, and a big part of that, kasi Ryan, is the fact that we both like music so much. We both love it so much that we enjoy talking about it all the time.
So based nga po din sa inyong origin stories, parang talagang you dedicated your life into music talaga.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't a day that passes by now we're not talking about music. It's a major part of our relationship.
Yeah. Hanggang ngayon, Ryan.
Hanggang ngayon.
Performances, talk about, this guy played Mendelssohn Concerto, listen to that. I didn't like that so much. I like this one. May ganun. We even talk about, she really was happy that I was learning a lot from Yap, because Yap is a violinist.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff that he was teaching me, she could relate it to talaga. She could relate to it.
Yeah. It's a string player's perspective.
How from a string player conductor is able to really or any conductor who knows about strings can really shape the sound of an orchestra
Kasi, as we
drastically.
all know, diba?
Yeah, that's why Yatko had the
String
effect.
section.
That's why Ismilia could do what he could do. That's why,
Mm,
But then again, there were a lot of pianist conductors naman who were extremely
yes,
successful. Ado, Bernstein, And
Mm.
that's an interesting thing, but I'll just sidestep a bit because
Okay.
Yat did work with Bernstein a lot.
Wow.
While he was concertmaster of Concert Gibao, they would tour and play Mahler cycles with Bernstein. So I asked, okay, boss, Bernstein is a pianist. How is he able to get that sound the way a great string playing conductor would? How did he do it? He's a pianist, doesn't know how to play violin. Of course, Yap being Yap, he'll say, because we did it for him. I did it for him.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. But basically, what he's trying to say is, when Bernstein Dow got to a certain age and a certain stature, the string players, the string sections of the great orchestras would not hesitate to just give him everything and they would make the translation for him, basically. So if there are some orchestras where the conductor has to even go so far as to tell them what fingering to use, in a great orchestra, you don't really have to because they're all so great. Just express what you want musically, and they'll translate that string speak or flute speak.
Baga, it's ang tawag dito, parang hindi na siya very technical. Kasi their techniques are very established. So it's all about the music na.
The phrase, it's the color, it's those things na. Yeah. And a great string playing conductor can be helpful because once in a while they'll have to step back into concert master mode and work out something, it's which Yap does a lot. He won't speak in very high and mighty, colorful terms. He will just go, you play 2, 2, 3, 3, and it'll be in tune.
Nice.
That's
I mean, syempre, mastered naman niya instrument.
He knows all the secret fingerings. He knows everything na. I mean, he's played. Like he was rehearsing Mahler 6. We were going to perform Mahler 6. And there was this part in the last movement that he just said, okay, we're going to have to play this about 3 or 4 times, just repetition. And I'll tell you why. So, I've played this symphony 20 times already. So I know that this is the scariest part of the symphony in the performance. Maybe not in the rehearsal, but in the performance, this is terrifying. So he knew it. He knew that from that being a performer for so long and singing in the orchestra for so long. He understands where the pressure is and how to alleviate it from the orchestra. Galing. So anyway, that was my sidestep. Our relationship, it is really, music holds it's one of the things that holds us. It's not everything, but it's one of those things that
it's a common ground
about something in common that, and it's not something it's a big thing.
Yeah. Baga, it's a big part of your lives na talagang hindi natin pwedeng bitawan na lang basta-basta. So let it go.
Yeah, because she's a musician, and I'll never stop being a musician. So it's really something that holds us together.
So, sir and ma'am, you had 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
How old are they?
Antonio is 13 and Carmen is 10.
So,
or he will be 13 anyway.
13.
Yeah.
So, as musician parents, what have you parang told them about the life or careers of being a musician, or do you want them to follow your footsteps, or you want them to carve their own path? Yeah.
Well, they've seen our lives, as musicians from the very beginning.
Yes.
Sumasama sila sa mga rehearsals, sumasama sila sa mga tugtog. And all our friends are their friends. So you almost cannot help that they will be interested in it somehow. But I think it affected Antonio more than Carmen because si Antonio really likes music. You can tell kasi when a kid or another musician has a connection with music.
Yes.
More than a casual listener does. You can tell when someone has a serious connection, and he has that connection with it. He has that.
What instrument po Antonio plays?
Well, he took piano lessons, but he's a very good drummer.
Wow.
And I don't say that just because he's my son. He is a very good drummer.
I've heard yung mga videos na pinapost niyo before.
Yeah. His tempo is
Okay.
so good. He can hold a good tempo for a lot longer than a lot of professionals can. You know, he can really hold a good tempo for a long time, and he doesn't revert into a comfort tempo. Whatever tempo he starts with, he will stay with that until the end.
Nakapako.
He has, yeah, it's a gift.
Baka may future din siya in conducting
Maybe.
or MD.
It all depends, kasi of course conducting.
Yes,
Not every good musician is
can
guaranteed
conduct.
a good conductor, because there's intangibles that are unique to conducting. Sometimes,
It's a different world.
and siyempre, there are teachers who might disagree with me, but there are unteachable traits.
Yes, as a conductor.
How are you capable to just stand there and musicians will just go with what you're thinking?
Yeah. And how you handle the musician.
handle a human situation. Yeah. It's tricky, and you're not
For
going to learn
that, sir,
all
parang
from school.
merong isang quote on I forgot kung sino in-interview. At si Andres Nelsons. Sabi niya, parang ang tanong, how would you handle the Boston Symphony that time? Parang ganun, sabi niya. Kasi nga, parang zoo daw yung orchestra. Purong wild animals. How can you tame wild animals daw? So parang gano'n, di ba? So iba talaga yung traits ng isang conductor.
Yeah, but one thing I've learned, seeing the different conductors pass through Hong Kong, syempre I have to assist them as well. Guest conductors who come, even here. So it's not just Yap, it's Yap, and then there's the, I had to assist Ashkenazi, I assisted Slatkin, I assisted, a lot of big time guys who came in. The thing that they had in common that really allowed the musicians to just follow them and agree with them, even when they didn't agree, they agreed, is there's a number one, a personal charisma. They had that. They just have this ability to convince you, and secondly, you could really tell how much they cared about the music and how much that they wanted it, that it wasn't about them, that it was about
the music.
To change somebody's life when they come to the concert. Parang ganon. We really sense that from them. And it's easy to jump on that bandwagon. Then is to jump on a bandwagon of, hey, you just follow me. Diba? It's much easier for us as musicians to go on
to
a
be
bandwagon.
organic.
At saka yung konsepto ng let's do this together so that Beethoven can change that guy's life.
Yes.
Rather than you just do what I'm asking you to do because I told you. Diba? Iba yun eh. Iba yung epekto sa musician. A musician will jump on, let's do this because everybody there loves Beethoven or whatever piece that we're playing. And we all care about it, and we all care that someone gets affected. So when that becomes the goal, let's really make this fantastic because it's going to change somebody's life. Then, bam, it just comes together. And, so it's just all about how good is this, or because I've seen conductors have terrible hands but get great.
Yes. May mga ganun.
Yeah. So ang daming wala, you can't
intangibles, parang intangibles.
It was those intangibles. The music comes out of their skin, and you can see how much love they have for the music. Yeah. It's huge. That's a huge thing. That goes a long way towards convincing an orchestra that this is going to be good, because they have to trust you with it.
Yes. Okay, before po tayo pumunta sa next, let's answer a few questions from Aldo Hoson. What's your post-COVID projects? What post-COVID projects are you excited about?
Well, next year.
Next year, I have 2 concerts. I was invited. Well, I'll go backtrack a little bit. Last year, I recorded with Cecil Licad.
Yes.
an album of Gershwin with piano with orchestra. No, and it was with the Sonderjylland Symphony Orchestra, the South Denmark Philharmonic, which serves basically the whole southern part of Denmark and the German border with Denmark as well. And we also participate in the Schleswig-Holstein Music Festival because it's close. It's very near there. So that was the orchestra that we used. And then, right after the project was finished, the office invited me back to do a concert in February next year.
Wow.
That's going to be Schumann Symphony Number 1, Mozart Piano Concerto 24, and Beethoven Coriolan Overture. So it's a proper German classical rep, concert.
Nice.
And then I got a few weeks ago. They called again, and I got invited. I hadn't even come back yet. They invited me again to do one in September. Naman, this is going to be a mixture of Bizet, Piazzolla. So it's going to be a nice program. There's going to be a new concerto for bandoneon and orchestra, and looking forward to premiering that piece for them. Yeah, and then of course there's Hong Kong Phil again. I've got Hong Kong Phil next year. I've got Singapore Symphony. I have 2 concerts coming up with Singapore Symphony as well. So of course there's Malaysian Phil and ABS. So there's a lot of conducting that I have to do next year, and a lot of arranging projects as well. I'm arranging several for MPO here. So there's a lot of stuff to do. So yeah, that's well, immediately following, when the pandemic
is all over,
wherever I might be, the first time people get together to play, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
because you've been away from
tayo hungry, hungry for
colleagues.
playing.
You realize what it is. You realize what it is you have when you don't have it.
Yeah. Parang kahit tumugtog ka sa mag-isa sa bahay or may collab ka video, it doesn't satisfy the hunger inside playing with.
So imagine when people are allowed to come together to play with their colleagues again.
Yes.
That's going to be something. I can't wait for that day. Whether it's here or with ABS, wherever I might be when that happens, that's going to be really something. And I hope people choose a good piece to do. What piece would you do? What piece would you want to play, Ryan, after post-COVID?
Hindi ko pa po alam, sir. Kahit ano. At this time. Maybe yung Beethoven, kasi parang mainit na yung Beethoven 5 nung time na bago nagka.
Yeah, and we're still in Beethoven year. We're still in Beethoven 50. I would choose 6.
6.
Because there's this moment in 6 where there's a storm and it ends and you come out of it grateful and you come out of it thankful. The whole last movement, the 5th movement, is all about being thankful. Diba? The theme. What a beautiful post-pandemic gratitude theme that would be.
Masaya. Sana makasama.
Wherever that's played the first time, wherever after. I don't care if I'm conducting or not. It doesn't matter to me. But just to be there when it happens, the energy would be very worthwhile.
Yes. And then si Jedrick has a question. Sir Gerard, ask ko lang po, advice on studying orchestra scores. Paano if limited yung time ng preparation for a performance?
Well, that's the point. The time is always limited. There's never enough time. Whether it's a 5-minute overture or 2-hour symphony, you're never going to have enough time. So the best advice I can give is to sharpen that knife. Sharpen that knife. Everybody is born with a knife, diba? Some people's knives are bigger than others, naturally, but it's how you sharpen that knife.
Yeah.
So, like I was talking about earlier about sharpening your skills or whatever you can within your control. If you as a conductor, one of the things you can learn how to do is develop your system of studying scores,
Right.
because you have to get to where you're confident that the music is inside you,
Yes.
that it's not
Mhm.
outside you, it's inside you. Because otherwise, because the orchestra can tell. The orchestra can tell.
Yes. Talagang
Um, You
mamatahin
can
ka.
tell within 10 seconds if you're conducting to a recording in your brain or if you're actually conducting the music as it's happening in front of you.
Yun
Diba?
talaga, tinitigan ka ng masama ng mga nasa harap.
Talagang, I can tell. I once asked my colleagues in Hong Kong, "Hey guys, how long it take you to tell if a guy really is a good conductor or if he just really sucks?" One guy said 5 seconds, one guy said 2 bars, and one guy said the upbeat. It's all I need, and I know. Sometimes all it takes is the upbeat, and you know, this guy's good.
Ay, wala po, wala. Ganun.
I'm seeing the comments here din pala sa StreamYard. Si
Ayun po.
Roan
Roan.
would
Yeah.
like to play
New
New
World
World.
Down. Yes,
Yeah,
so
that's another good one. It's a new world.
Yeah.
yung second movement, iiyak ko yan siguro.
Well, I hope it's for the right reasons, Ryan, not because the English horn.
But,
Diba? You want to cry for the right reasons.
hindi na pala marunong mag-English.
Yeah, you want to cry because it's a beautiful thing. You don't
It's
want to cry because,
beautiful.
why am I here? I want to be, please.
A friend of mine po would like to ask naman for the
Okay.
both of you.
Hmm.
Si Zach Paddy, so flutist
Okay.
po from USP. What pieces of music inspire you the most at the moment and why? Galim.
Want me to answer that first, Mama, or you want to go first?
And
You go ahead.
well,
What have you been listening to? You've been listening to a lot of listening to Chai Concerto yata, di ba?
Yeah.
It's the same music that inspired me before the pandemic. I mean, before, during, or after, it'll be the same. I'll be inspired by the same stuff. So I don't have a pandemic playlist, if that's what he's asking. I don't have a specific pandemic listening. Like I guess he wasn't here when we were talking about learning the stuff that I want to learn,
yeah.
diba? Instead of the stuff that I have to learn. Which may or may not be stuff that I like kasi, but because of it's my profession, I have to learn it, and then I just learn to like it na lang when I'm but the truth of the matter is there's really no music that doesn't amaze me. There really isn't. Whether it's jazz, rock, pop, OPM, classical, whatever, I like all of it. All of it is beautiful to me, you know.
Yeah.
There's no bad music. It's just bad musicians. But
Just bad musicians.
but there's no bad music. So if you're talking
Yeah.
about music, I'll listen to anything, and there'll be something in it that'll inspire me. You know, maybe at the beginning when I was very distracted, I would stay away from music that was meant to convey negative emotion. Diba? Like the last 5 minutes of Mahler 9, I'd probably stay away from that. Or, you know, the one I just conducted with PPO, Pathetic, the last movement of Pathetic, I wouldn't listen to that at the beginning.
First note pa lang.
Siyempre, it deals with something it deals with dying.
Yeah.
So,
Dying.
so I wouldn't listen to that, but probably now I can handle it because we're used to this already. But there's beauty to be found in any music. It's so personal. It's just there's no right or wrong answers there. It's just so personal. But if he wants to know what pieces I'm listening to right now, I will open up for you my Spotify so I can tell you exactly what it is I'm listening to. It's because I'm trying to put together a lot of programs for social distanced orchestras, meaning fewer sitting on stage, so the instrumentation has to be smaller, right?
Small.
So for smallish works, I'm listening to Alban Berg, Kammer Concerto, Chamber Concerto for piano and orchestra, piano and violin with orchestra. Alban Berg, I'm listening to, of course, the Grand Partita, the Serenade in B flat by Mozart. What's the next one here? One of my favorites, Igor Stravinsky, Dumbarton Oaks in E flat concerto for chamber orchestra. I really love that. Conducted it with ABS.
Play that.
Yeah. And I'm going to do that here in APO. That's great. I've been listening to Appalachian Spring, Aaron Copeland. He has a version kasi for 13 instruments, the original instrument.
Wow. Maliit
So
lang.
it's quite amazing. That's the original one. He orchestrated the people out of that. So it's cool to see you. Oh, this became the trumpet line. This became the, it's just like the big one. It's just as challenging on the hands as well. So it's good. Also, I've been listening to a lot of the music of Luciano Berio, composer, really fantastic. The Defia that we played with Andion Fernandez, Ryan, you remember that?
Yes.
The seven Spanish songs. That was arranged by Luciano Berio. That's because originally ni Falia was just piano and voice. So the orchestral version was done, orchestrated by Berio. Kuha niya yung instrumentation ni Defalia. You just wouldn't be able to tell the difference. If someone told me that Defaya orchestrated himself, I would have believed it.
Yun po, sir, yung time na mali yung edition, tama ba?
Yeah, where we got the wrong key, we got the wrong, and then
2 weeks.
Good man, the publisher was kind enough to acknowledge their mistake, number one, and send PPO a set of PDFs.
Yes.
Iaabot talaga kung i-mail nila.
Papadala nila. Hindi ba laging mailing
customs, diba? Customs sa atin, talaga naman. For the people who can't understand what we're talking about, Philippine customs kasi, syempre, when a music publisher sends you a box of pieces, a set of score and parts, nakalagay doon, syempre, the part says flute 1, flute 2, tumawag yung customs saying, ma'am, musical instruments po yung pinadala sa inyo. Hindi po, music sheets po yan, mga pyesa po yan. Hindi po kasi may nakalagay flute 1, nakalagay trombone. So, akala instrumento.
Akala instrumento.
Paano na makakasya ron yung lahat ng instrumentong yun? Parang, oh, wow. So,
di ba lang nila tinignan?
Well,
nabuhat nyo yung lahat ng flute na yan.
They have to go with what it said, So, how else are you gonna label that? Di ba? I mean, a good self-respecting publisher is not gonna say trombone 1 sheet music, trombone 2 sheet music.
Yeah.
Buti nga, hindi nakalagay, 14 first violins. Can you imagine?
Violin 1, 14.
14 first violins. Wow. Sir, meron kayong 4 na violin dito, di ba?
Assemble. Para Lego.
So that's one of the challenges that the PPO has to deal with. We also did in ABS importing a piece, same thing happened to us. And so it's a good place in PDF. Sana nga in the near future, not too distant future, that can be the standard na. And you just sign a contract to ensure that it doesn't get unlawfully distributed. Di ba? Yun naman yung nakakatakot when you send the PDF. How can you control it? Well, how can you control people from photocopying it either? So you can't stop people from scanning it.
Yeah.
So there must be just honor and a contract just to say that you won't.
Kasi siguro maliit na parang copyright something.
Or digital watermark or something, or just a contract is enough. Where somebody gets thrown in jail if they break it.
Walang ganyang peso sa Pilipinas pero kompleto ng isa, no? May library na sa bahay.
No, but I mean, it works naman. It worked out fine for us. They sent us the PDFs.
Wala naman naging problem.
It was a great concert. I really enjoyed the concert.
Yeah.
I mean, of course,
first,
it was the COVID-19.
Trivia lang. First time ko naging choir sa orchestra. Sa concert na yun.
The upstage choir for Jeffrey Ching's piece.
Yeah.
King Kong.
King Kong choir. Yeah.
Yeah.
They loved. They thought the idea was great. Yeah. So it was from an opera with a cast doing all the shouting and stuff. Who else to do it? The musicians. Reduced instrumentation naman. So, pwede. There are people left over. Lots of people left over shouting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to our next topic. So, sir, you've been traveling around the world.
Yeah.
Ma'am DJ is still parang very active in the music scene, no? So would you how do you handle your kids?
When we both have to be away, very luckily naman for us, DJ's mom, my mother-in-law, lives with us. So
Mm,
she's a former science teacher. She was a science teacher in Hong Kong. So at least helping them with the schoolwork and just looking over them, it's very convenient, that she's good at that.
he's there.
Um, Not just there, but an actual school teacher. Knows
Yeah.
how to kids.
So parang may supervision talaga na. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, she knows
they're
how to
doing
really gets it.
their
Um,
part. They're doing their job.
the kids getting bigger, it allows DJ more time
Yeah.
that she can be going to CCP or ABS or wherever she might be playing that week, and it allows her time to sort of get back into the swing of things
Yes.
because the kids are bigger now. But
They can handle their
when I went to Denmark, DJ was with me. Last time I conducted Sydney Symphony, she was there as well.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
kaya pwede na. There was a
Pwede na
time
sila.
I had to be alone all the time. Whenever I left, I had to be alone.
Mhm. Kasi they need to
'cause
take care of it.
small pa. Carmen was born in 2010, so now that she's 10,
She's 10.
so,
Yeah.
she
So,
and she studies
ayun
very
pala.
well independently, so she's okay.
Right. So si Carmen po, does she play any musical instrument?
Nag-start siya kay Gina ng violin and she really likes it.
She likes
But
violin.
because of her personality and just the way she is, I'm not 100% sure that she'll want to be a musician. Kasi Antonio has already said na he wants to be a musician.
Nice.
He wants to spend his life playing percussion.
Oh.
So, yeah, and
Nice.
he got along very, very well with our principal percussionist here, Matt Prendergast. They clicked. So he saw a professional percussionist who's really, really good and really, really nice guy, and so that really inspired him.
Nice.
Si Carmen naman kasi is very bright sa school. She's one of those kids who does well in school. Her grades are always extremely high. So she doesn't really look like she's trying. She's one of those.
Yan yung mga parang papagalitan mo. Bakit di ka nag-aaral?
Looks like she's
Perfect naman po yung twist ko.
She just nails it. So don't know. She might
paint.
And she likes.
Ayun.
She's got that.
Yeah.
She likes to sing too. They both have very good ears. They both.
But you can see naman po sa children parang kahit na magaling sila dito sa mga ganitong parts, sometimes they don't really take it too seriously in a way na I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. Parang may ganun.
We're still wondering what it is that
really
Carmen can't live without doing. Yeah, let's put it that way. Yeah. See, Antonio already wants to be a musician, but
did you force them or force?
No, we made it available.
Naturally.
Available lang. Made it available, and then because they saw that we enjoy it, because they see that because. Like I can only speak for myself. Syempre, I don't. For me, it's not. I never use the word career. I just
career. Yeah.
It's not. It's a musical life.
Yes, it's a lifestyle.
So, and that reflects in the way I act around the house when it comes to music. I'm always reading a score. I'm always doing something, music related.
Music related.
Yeah. So they see how into it I am, even when I'm wearing my shorts and my slippers at home. I'm not. It's not just going to work and doing it. So they see music as that. They're not intimidated by it because it's going to be hard. They see that I work very hard, but I'm having fun. So that's it'll make it interesting. Oh, Papa's having fun. Diba? So they'll look. And of course, because of the people we know, like Gina, Virna, all these people who are great teachers, it's easy for us to find a place for them to get introduced to playing. So sometimes you can't help it.
And then parang
friends
yung
are
approach
doctors
is,
because their parents are doctors. Diba? It's
yes,
dinner table conversation.
maraming ganun talaga eh. Parang
You can't help it.
napilit lang. Ayaw naman talaga.
Yeah, but
But sometimes it's just really,
yeah, we never
never.
it was always made available, and they can be whatever they want.
Yeah. Kumbaga, it's always an option for them to cling to.
And the point naman is not what they do, but how good they get at it, and how
Yeah,
dedicated they can be. If Antonio wants to be a lawyer, great. If he wants to be a doctor, great. If Carmen wants to be a psychiatrist, that's
sure.
great. Whatever, as long as they can dedicate and really work hard
Support.
at it. Yeah.
Kumbaga, they give what they need to give, not just parang for the sake of it. Kumbaga,
Yeah, don't give the minimum. Don't get into an employee mentality naman where you give the minimum para you feel like you're getting more, di ba? Wag ganun. They have to give it everything they have. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's answer a question from Gary Fabricante.
Oh, hi Gary.
Okay, what distracts you the most as a conductor during live performances? Umiinit po ba yung ulo nyo during a live performance? Then, hello daw kay Doc Melfred Hernandez, Miss Chona Noble, and Mr. Ramon Eugenio.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Kasi it's like this, with your the week that you're rehearsing is where you're working stuff out, and in the performance, basically you throw all the bets out the window, and you sort of let the thing unfold as naturally and as organically as possible. So if what might set me off in a rehearsal might not do so in the performance, and of course it all depends. If you're dealing with an orchestra that's a high level orchestra, for example, then the chances of something going wrong in a certain sense, different things going wrong, there are different categories for things that go wrong. But let's say someone playing out of tune or not together, the likelihood of that happening in a good orchestra is very, very low.
Very slim.
Diba? Where it might set me off if I'm working with a youth orchestra, because these things can happen. And I'll even change the way I conduct a youth orchestra versus the way I conduct a professional orchestra, because
it's very different.
Orchestra won't have certain things built in the same way a good professional orchestra will. So I might conduct a little more square for the kids, but with the professional orchestra, you show them the phrase, and that's what sticks them together. Diba? So it depends talaga. But I cannot remember the last time I really honestly cannot remember the last time I felt that way. Uminit ulo ko in a live performance. Many times ulo ko in a rehearsal. Yeah, and it's normal. But in live performance, no way. Because Gary, this is it. I got it. Very frequently, I think you might have been there when I say it, Ryan. You might have experienced it. Right after the dress rehearsal, right at the end of the dress rehearsal, before the performance, the last thing I usually try to say, if I can remember to say it, to the orchestra or whoever I'm working with, is, okay, tonight's the performance. Take a risk. Take that risk.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, I'm going to keep smiling at you. But the worst thing you can do is not take that risk, because that moment's going to come and go, and you're going to regret that more than messing up.
Yes.
Diba? I think you might recall I did say that. Yeah. So Gary, that is it. During live performances, my time ba na umit ulo mo? That already itself is an impossible question, because the last thing I tell the orchestra before the performance is to go ahead and take the risk. Whatever happens, I'm going to keep smiling at you. And you put yourself in that position by working very, very, very hard in rehearsals, so that you can earn your right to be free in the performance.
You can get that.
You can't. The freedom doesn't come for free. No one can give it to you. You have to earn it with preparation. Diba? That's the only thing that can, like, see, Doc Melfred will know this. His rigorous preparation. When he goes into surgery, diba, he feels in charge and he feels free as a direct result of all the preparation, all the experience that came. That's it. That's why doctors prepare like that. Because they're gonna get into this crunch time, game time situation where they have to make game time decisions, and they have the freedom to do this at a high level because of their preparation. So it's very similar. It's very similar.
The same as performance nga po.
Yeah.
When you perform, parang you throw everything out the window and you don't get too technical. You just play the music.
Yeah.
Baga, ito na yun. Ito na yung culmination of everything we practice, we rehearse, all the things that we talked about.
Preparation comes before that has to be unbelievable.
Yes.
Or else, halatang hilaw.
Yes. Madaling makita.
Yeah. You can't hide that.
Yeah.
The pressure's too big eh. Makikita mo talaga natetense na yung orchestra or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. That's the reason why people get nervous. The best antidote for stage fright is preparation.
Yeah.
Preparation.
Yeah.
Kasi bakit ka ba kinakabahan? Because you might screw up.
Yeah. Then you can't think, you can't do music anymore. You're just worried because you're under-rehearsed, under-prepared.
Mm-hmm. But if you're well prepared, syempre may kaba pa rin. And then pa rin yung jitter.
That's more of adrenaline kasi you're sharing. You're sharing. You're broadcasting. It's the rush of that. Diba?
Yes. Okay. Eto sir, medyo funny question eh. From Ace Gonzalez.
Okay.
Sino daw yung bassist sa Malaysian Philharmonic na sobrang laki?
Yes. No.
Actually, naano din ako doon. Parang nung nakita ko yung isang video ng Malaysian. Cello ba yun?
Our principal double bass here in Malaysia, his name is Wolfgang Steike. And he's a German bass player. He was a member of the Berlin Philharmonic.
Wow.
And he played, if I'm not mistaken, from all the accounts kasi semi-pro or pro basketball. So
talaga gifted with that height.
So he's a big man with a very big heart. He's such a good gentleman talaga, and I can only count on one hand people who I know who love music more than him, or as much as he does, who care about music. This guy really cares.
Ano po height niya, sir?
But it looks like 6'11". Probably he could be 6'11", 6'10". Easily.
Hindi mas malay pa sa bass eh, no? Tapos parang cello lang.
Even when he's seated on the stool, he's still taller than the rest of the section.
Yun yeah. Very eye-catching.
There are stories. I haven't witnessed this myself, pero may story na alam mo yung ilalim ng double bass, merong spike, di ba? Parang sa cello. He's able to hold the bass neck and inspect the spike with one hand.
Wow.
Yeah, there was
one
story. The second story is nagre-recording ang MPO na the harp had to be moved. No, the harp was in the middle of the stage, but the next piece kailangan wala yung harp. Ganun binuhat niya yung harp, tapos nilagay niya backstage. So not only is he, physically imposing, a large stature, but very, very strong. Kasi athlete nga siya.
Athlete ka.
Yeah. Tsaka grabe siyang, yung dedication niya sa music, and he's been so inspiring to me, and always positive. I've never heard a negative out of that guy. Always positive, yeah.
Galing.
I was conducting a piece here called Lagat sa Ladra, the overture to Lagat sa Ladra. And there's a part in the middle there that's pianissimo possible. That's what it says on the score. After one rehearsal, there's a break, and then he comes to the dressing room, says, Gerard, closes the door. There's this pianissimo possible can still be so much quieter, where there's almost nothing. I did this with Abado, he said, in Berlin.
Wow.
It was like nothing. There was like nothing going on. It was magical. So try it the next time. So ganun siya. Then he'll leave the room and then I'll try it.
Nice.
Galing talaga siya. I've learned a lot from him. Super. Just the traditions kasi that he received and then he's passing
Yes,
it on. You know?
and that's nice that you're sharing what you learned. Hindi lang, you don't keep it to yourself. Eh. That's
Yes.
the beauty of sharing your knowledge.
Traditions that he picked up. Of course, he's from Germany mismo. So
Germany.
there's one tradition na his teacher was the principal bass nga of the Berlin Field, and he became a member himself. He's played with all these guys.
Great
He's played
musician.
with Belo Havek. He's played with Abado. He's recorded with Karayan. You know,
Wow.
it's just priceless. And you can pick up from that tradition.
Nice.
Yeah.
And sir, meron pa ulit question.
Sige, go.
Pang Q&A na tayo. And
Yes,
2 hours na. Grabe, 2 hours na tayo.
Didn't feel like it. That doesn't feel like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So, is there any piece that you feel you need several more years before you can perform or conduct it ably and musically?
Let's phrase it this way. Who asked the question?
Aldo Hoson.
Oh, Aldo. Kamusta, Aldo? He's our friend from Singapore.
Nice.
Let's put it this way. You know, if there's a piece I conduct now, I'll do it a lot better maybe the third or fourth time that I conduct it.
Yeah.
Diba? Because there's so much more experience, life experience, musical experience. I cannot say kasi kung several more years before. No, I'll try it now. I'll go through a process of learning it now, because otherwise it's going to procrastinate. You're gonna wait. You'll never do it.
You're gonna just wala.
Diba?
Hindi naman siya mag-evolve sa'yo. Yeah. You don't practice.
For example, New World with PPO was my first time doing New World.
Yeah.
But I gave myself 6 months to learn it. Like I really took a 6-month preparation. This was my first time. Same thing with Pathetic. I did a 6-month timeline on that as well, and I learned from every timeline. You know, the effectivity of try to sharpen my knife. You know, but it's always going to be. Rarely do I feel that it's great the first time I conduct something. Rarely. Even though it came out okay and the orchestra was satisfied, I always feel like you can do it better. Even Yap told me, get around the repertoire as fast as you can. That way, you get to your second, third, fourth time sooner as well.
Yeah.
Fukumura,
You take the challenge, no?
Yeah. Fukumura gave me the same advice. He said, you're gonna do Rachmaninoff's Second Symphony, do it 3 times before you can think you can actually do a good one. It'll be about 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
But if your limit is within yourself lang talaga when you're trying to play.
Yeah, because I mean, a symphony, there's so much to it. There's so much to it. Objectively and subjectively, there's so much. Diba? There's so much material, so many details, so many things between the lines, unwritten stuff between the lines that you have to realize. It takes a few times around to really pick it up.
Bagay, I mean, learning naman is always going out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
In anything that you do, if you don't try it now, how would you know na kaya mo pala siyang gawin in the long run?
But there's another angle to Aldo's question. I want to be clear with him. At this point in time, you give me a piece of music and I'll be able to conduct it.
Yes,
I'm equipped enough to be able to conduct any piece of music you would throw at me. You know, but
to be
at the level that I think really deserves, you know, I really try to set up an almost impossibly high standard for myself.
For yourself, yeah.
So, you know, if it's something that I could be satisfied with, maybe I'll nail it the first time. If it's something that I could really connect with, you know, right away. Let's see. It really depends on it's material specific, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really depends on the repertoire.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really depends on the repertoire.
Yeah. So, what else? I think it's 2 hours na, no? Sobrang haba na.
Maybe we
Okay
can
pa
just
ba
do a
kayo
part
dyan?
two or something,
Oo.
these days.
Maybe maganda siguro part 2 or ano, next time yan. Kasi
We do a
baka napapagod.
dedicated,
Medyo, umiikot-ikot na yung mga paningin natin.
photos, wala pa. We're not even in the photos pa. We're not even in the photo
Yeah.
section. So maybe we should do a part 2 for that and
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah. Shout out lang sa mga viewers natin. Dami
How
pa
many have we
nandito.
had, Ryan? How many people have come to?
I think the peak was around 60.
That's good.
Yeah. And we have 43 now. Both on
Oh.
Facebook and
Thanks for sticking it out, you guys. I mean,
for your time.
hope we didn't bore you with the rambling or anything.
I hope marami po kayong natutunan. No? It's a very nice conversation.
Yeah, it didn't feel like
Medyo-
2 hours, Ryan. It was very enjoyable. I'm glad we had this.
Yeah. Of course, gusto ko lang po ulit magpasalamat to the both of you for actually taking your time to be here. Tatlong episode ko na inaawitan si Ma'am DJ for this. Pag nanonood siya, sabi ko lagi, baka pwede po kayong
Should do one more.
Yan. Sige po. Set natin yan para maabangan. And yeah. So, thank you again. How about, sir, parting words for our audience. And maraming aspiring musicians and kasama natin sa industry right now. Yeah.
Mga, musicians, fellow musicians, and people feeling the effects of this pandemic. Basically, like we were talking about earlier, Ryan, you can make 2 lists.
Yes.
Your first list is made of things that you can control, that are under your control. Your second list is made of things that are not under your control. The things that you're not in control of, offer that to God na.
Yes.
Because, diba, you can't do anything
Wala ka
about
na magagawa.
Yeah,
Don't stress about it.
Offer it to God na. The first list, that's your roll up your sleeves and get to work. Do something list. And focus on that and trust God to work out the rest, because He's the only one who's in charge of that, not you. So
wala kang choice.
work on the stuff that you're in charge of and
Yes.
sharpen your knife. This is your chance. Sharpen that knife.
Yes. Ayan. How about si Ma'am DJ po?
I guess pareho lang kay Gerard.
Yeah.
Ah,
You want to add something?
well, I guess kung kasama mo yung family mo, like, yung iba, buo sila, no? Just
Yeah.
take advantage of the time to be with your family,
Your family.
Yeah, and stay safe, I guess.
Yeah. So ako naman, maybe, syempre, you do the things that you need to do, but always go check on yourself. Sometimes hindi lang naman yung baga, it's not always yung pagpa-practice, yung mga ginagawa mo sa bahay. You have to check your mindset or how you're thinking, no? Because that's the things we forget. And it's okay to let your emotions out, no? Try to find ways to get it out para hindi mag-burst like a bubble. And it might really help if you need a friend to talk to, no? Wag natin sarilihin yung problems, because as we all know, the whole world is going through this crisis right now. And of course, ayaw naman natin ng ganito, pero we have no choice right now. So just keep your head leveled and always check on yourself. And also, if you have the capacity to actually check on others as well. If you can.
Yeah. Help if you can.
Yeah.
Someone needs
you can.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of
It's
help,
not just financially, yan.
No.
Hindi lang naman financially, moral support.
Listening lang.
A lot of people, yeah, sometimes they can't reach out. So, how about try to reach out to them as well?
That's very true, no? It's very good.
Ryan, speaking of help, support small businesses.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
support.
ang mga musiko
Yung
ngayon,
mga
may
musikong
na-
medyo walang pinagkukunan.
yeah,
Oh,
support
so,
lang natin ang nila.
si Dio is into, what is it he's selling?
I think it's he's
parang
selling
ano po yata eh.
making. I think it's show making.
Siomay
Sa
yata.
brother niya yata, yung kay Kuya Mike yata.
Kay,
Parang,
kay Ivan.
hindi po, kay Michael.
Yung older brother nila.
Opo.
Okay.
Parang
Okay.
mga ulam, gano'n. Lutong ulam.
Yun.
Yeah.
Support that. May
Yeah.
mga
Support.
Came
itlog,
downtown.
na silky sila.
Mga itlog na Ate Silky. Yan.
Yes.
So,
and
guys, eto, I think marami naman pong nanonood. So, maybe you can post on the comment section yung mga small businesses nyo. If you want to advertise it, pwede nyo lagay sa comment section. Di naman po yan mabubura. So, at least we help each other out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yun. So, yun. Mga nag-online lessons, mga gusto magpaturo, ayan.
Yun.
You can reach out.
mm-mm.
Again,
part
so,
2 natin we can post like mga business
tingnan
na
natin mga businesses no.
promote. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So again, salamat po sa lahat ng tumutok sa ating Usapang Musiko. This has been very fun, no? This is parang longest episode na yata to. Grabe.
Yeah, it went a lot longer than I thought, and
Yeah.
it didn't feel like it at all. No, it didn't feel long.
Pinag-usapan namin parang 1 hour lang dapat eh. Pero mag 2.5 na tayo. Oh. Yeah.
2:11 na.
Okay. Yeah. So, thank you po ulit, Sir Gerard and Ma'am DJ for joining us today. Yeah. So,
Thank you, Ryan.
thank you to all my subscribers on YouTube. Yeah. So, again, for 400 subs, I'm going to have
Congrats.
more content. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Magdadagdag pa tayo ng mga show. Yeah. Yeah. And then last lang, tomorrow may stream ulit tayo with some UST brass friends naman.
Ay,
Dwight, Elmer, si Vanessa. So pag-usapan natin yung buhay nila ngayon. Kung anong ginagawa nila. Siyempre, mga brass natin. Medyo maraming tugtog yan kahit sa banda nila eh. Pero syempre ngayon parang wala masyado. So how are they coping up? And what are they doing during this time? Yeah. So again, this has been Usapang Musiko. So I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m. on my channel. Yeah. Bye.
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 Bye.